We are so honored to have you here, man. We were talking before about your career, your movies, the people with you had directed. So it's really an honor to have you here talking about the Commando. In fact, I want to tell you something. It's crazy because I was reading on a page about movies, about this movie. And
Okay.
when Jhon tell me, we are going to interview the director from the Commando, really? I was reading about this movie.
Oh, wow. Small
I,
world. Yeah. I guess
I,
it's been going around all over the place. And you're in Colombia, correct?
yes, we are in Colombia.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I'm very happy to be speaking to you and your people in Colombia. You know, I have a lot of Colombian friends and I've always loved your land. So thank you for having me.
We hope that you made some action in this country, you know.
I would love to. You know, I actually love a lot of the history from Colombia. And then, of course, you're the land of Pablo Escobar, you know, and I love the Netflix show Narcos. That's one of my favorite shows. And so hopefully, you know, I'll get down there and we can make a great action film sometime.
We hope so. I will let you with Jhon. Jhon, dale.
Oh, vamos a empezar con la mejor manera de... Sabemos de que en todo este cine que has realizado siempre tiene una visión que es como destacar como el estrés postraumático de los asesinos, pero más que todo en que el asesino en vez no es una persona que no se destaque, sino más bien que se presenta el problema y usted descubre el problema en esas películas, pero más es en los soldados de guerra que siempre trata como de descubrirse a sí mismo. ¿Cómo para usted fue esa elaboración de poder conocer a la perfección esa psicología tanto de los personajes que hace Jay White y obviamente el gran Rourke?
This is a great question from Jhon. How do you deal with the subject of post-war stress in this movie? And of course, directing these two amazing actors that are Michael J. White and Mickey Rourke. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so you know, our focus on this movie was, you know, like you mentioned, the PTSD, which is a real issue in our society around the world, you know, all over the world. And it's not just with military people or law enforcement, it's with anybody. That could be, you know, a regular person like you or me that even sees something traumatic, some sort of big accident or whatever. And now you have post-traumatic stress disorder. And this doesn't just affect the person that gets it, but it affects the entire family and friends and people around them. And one of the messages we wanted to convey in this movie is that no matter who you are, how macho or big or hero, you know, you can always seek help. It's not wrong to talk to your family, your wife, your husband, your, you know, friends, and even get professional therapy, you know, with counselors and therapists. And there are programs to deal with this for not just the individual, but the whole family. And so we had to do a lot of research and get tech advice to make sure we, you know, focused and presented that subject matter in a proper way for the audience and also for many of the people in the audience that can relate to the issues. I know I have a lot of family and friends, people I know personally that deal with this every day. And same with our actors like Michael J. White. He has family members that deal with this. He himself had experiences. He's done his own research and he's played similar characters like this before. And, you know, to work with a legendary actor like Mickey Rourke, you know, you just have to let Mickey do his thing. I mean, that's why, you know, we designed that character, Johnny, around who Mickey Rourke is, you know, and I wanted to also show a different side of the bad guys. You know, I didn't want them to be flat and one-dimensional. I wanted them to have depth and a backstory themselves, and they have conflict within themselves to the point where, because of one of their mistakes, their whole side of the mission fails for them, you know. And so we had to make them human and make them relate to the audience a bit and develop those characters. So overall, the whole film, we were approaching it as a psychological crime thriller with some supporting action, not just an full-on action film, the typical Michael Jai White fighting movie. And I know a lot of the fans were probably expecting that, but this movie, we wanted to, you know, give it more depth and make it a little bit more, you know, dramatic.
Before I translate, I will tell you a little like trivia from the channel, and it will be the excuse to keep in the head to Jhon. No, because do you remember the cast from Narcos? We interviewed it before. No, not myself, Jhon. Do you know the character of Enrique? That black man, Karen Lasso. We interviewed it in the channel. So I will tell Jhon, because we made the promise to Karel to translate that interview, because we did it in Spanish, but I want to translate it and share to you, man. And I will translate what you said.
Thank you. Sorry for it being a long answer.
No. Don't worry. I got good memory, and I will talk about the important aspect. Everything is important, but more the aspects, what you say about that. I have to tell you that these people need to get help, that this movie gets conscious about this subject. And yes, that showing another aspect for Michael Jai White. Yes. But it's crazy because the critique that I read say that they were surprised because yes, they maybe want to see the action, but they see this drama, this thriller, and say, oh my God. Okay, I will translate. Jhon, me tomo el atrevimiento de traducir porque le dije así, y esta es la excusa para darte el coscorrón. No, mentiras. Esta es la excusa para que traduzcamos lo de Karen. Claro, él recuerda a Karen Lasso, el personaje Enrique, es la serie favorita de Asif, Narcos. Y Jhon, vas a flipar. La película, de hecho, fue hecha para generar conciencia, no sé si aquí hay un spoiler o no, sobre que la gente que tiene este estrés postraumático tiene que pedir ayuda. Y lo más increíble, bueno, empezando de que es un thriller, no es una película de acción, es un thriller con escenas de acción, que por eso mucha gente se quedó como que, venga, pero ¿por qué Michael Jai White? O sea, ¿esperaban ver las peleas? No, es un thriller, y lo más importante es que se usó el pasado de la familia incluso de Michael Jai White, pero se creó desde cero el personaje de Mickey Rourke. O sea, como que es ese Mickey Rourke que tiene que vencer esos... Sí, pero que tiene que vencer esos demonios del estrés postraumático. Yo creo que con eso te lo dije todo. Y, amigo, ya sabes, hay que pasar la de Karen.
Además, un dato muy importante para... Así es que en el tema de cuando realiza los personajes, siempre me gustó la manera, y en anteriores trabajos, que es que siempre hay redención en cada actor que interpreta, porque es obvio, nosotros nos quedamos anonadados cuando vimos a Michael Jai White o Mickey Rourke interpretando un thriller, sabiendo de que ellos son los casi maestros de las peleas de acción. ¿Cómo es para usted poder como cambiar ese contraste, evolucionar ese género respecto no solo a la psicología, sino al contexto de acción y thriller en la actualidad?
Y le agregaré algo. Okay, this question is from bot, because we had watched some of your previous stuff, and there is always the redemption. And we want to know, without doing spoilers, of course, we haven't seen Commando, the Commando, as to, we know that Mickey, he's a character actor, you know, and he always showed this redemption in his movies, but maybe we will see some kind of this cure in the Michael Jai White character. Oh no, the redemption is here in this movie. You can, there is a spoiler. If you do want to say it, don't say it. But if you want to say a little bit,
yeah, I mean, there is a part of revenge from Michael Jai White's side on Mickey, because I mean, actually both sides. I'll tell you that much. There is revenge from both sides in a way, because people from both sides die. And like I was saying before, I developed both sides of the characters, the bad guys and the good guys. So you get to kind of know and relate to some of these characters. And then all of a sudden, you have these people dying from both sides. And I won't say who dies, but because there are bloodshed on both sides of people that are close to the main hero and the main bad guy, both side has some revenge, and there's definitely redemption there.
I cannot wait to see it. Jhon, vas a flipar. Lo que hice acá es fuego. La venganza se va a ver en ambos lados. Va a haber muertes en ambos lados. Hay giros de trama en ambos lados. Creo que aquí está arreglando mucho, pero pues él sabe muy bien lo que nos dice. Pero con eso te lo digo todo. No es una película, porque obviamente se supone que por el tráiler es listo. Michael J. White se venga. Nada, puede haber sorpresas. Si tienes más preguntas, dilas. Por mí yo quiero decir, obviamente, también después el honor de saber que está acá sabiendo, pues, con qué más personas, pero dale.
Bueno, yo tengo una pregunta muy importante para Asif, y es, bueno, sabiendo de que es una de las películas que van a impactar, ¿por qué? En referencia a que la historia se maneja de una manera en que jamás se esperaba. ¿Cómo? Los personajes siempre inician con diálogos. Cuando el diálogo va a decir, ya ha pasado ya la escena, o sea, es decir, como un contraste distinto, un contraste diferente en cómo se ven las películas de acción hoy día, que siempre hay un diálogo permanente referente a explicar. Ellos así explica es con los hechos, o sea, con el método de cómo se desarrolla la edición. Y me gustaría saber es, bueno, en referencia a la dirección y edición, ¿cómo se preparó para llegar al producto final? ¿Sacó la primera vez este producto o cuántas copias, o por así decirlo, cómo llegó ahí en referencia para crear desde Commando y qué significa ese título para él?
Wow, this is an interesting question. I hope I can sum it very well, because yes, Jhon asked what was the decisions that you take in the cutting room, in the edition process, to get the final product in the Commando. I don't know if you don't want to know that there is a first cut of a lot of cost too, because he says that he feels that this movie is not only constructed with the actions but with the dialogues, and he says we feel that it's a very intricate movie, so he wants to know how was the editing process.
It was interesting because the whole story, the scenes, the timing of the movie, everything was being designed along the way from when we were writing the script. Koji, wrote the screenplay, and then once we got to production, we had to edit a lot of the script on the spot while we were shooting, because we had a tight schedule. We also, had locations and many factors to deal with scheduling, to where we had to rearrange the scenes and the dialogues on the spot. There was sometimes improvisation on the spot. And with Mickey Rourke, he is a true artist and old school actor that still loves to, improvise off script. You give him an idea, we discuss the scene, we talk about what's happening, then the cameras roll and he will give you the dialogue. So we did a lot like that with his scenes. Michael J. White, we would always discuss the other actors. We always, on the spot, discuss the scenes, came up with ideas that we collaborated on with everyone, and then we shot it. And I like to shoot to edit, so I think about the editing when I shoot. So when we came into editing, there was another phase where we were editing the dialogue and storylines depending on the timing we needed for the final film, along with just, seeing something that, come out to be different later. Once you put the music, you know, the VFX and everything else into it, all the elements come together, you might want to change things. So we were changing and redesigning the whole story and the dialogue along the way up until the very end. And it was interesting because the editing was being done remotely because of the pandemic. I never met my editor face to face. So we would sit online like this, and I would see the screen he's working on. He had screen share, and we had a program where we could do it remotely. So it was a whole new process. And since then, you know, I've made a lot of movies in the pandemic that we've had to adapt and work like that with. But for me, it's always a process until the very end. Even now, I watch the movie, now it's done, and I think about things. Oh, I could have done this different, that different. But you always think that, but it's time, you know, I let the audience enjoy.
That is crazy, man. I will translate, but that is crazy, crazy. Jhon, wow. Sí, sabes muy bien que son dos escritores, ¿no? Al Bravo, bueno, obviamente Asif. Pero hay una persona que hizo el screenplay, ¿no? ¿Quién es Koji? Todo se diseñó desde el principio, pero había, digamos, como que el cronograma era muy, muy, muy apretado, por así decirlo. Y aún así, a pesar de lo apretado, se dio espacio a la improvisación, ¿sabes? Él lo acaba de decir así. Mickey Rourke es un maestro improvisando. Él aprovechó esto. Obviamente se discutía mucho, pues, sabes muy bien que es un personaje muy distinto para Michael J. White, entonces se discutía mucho, pero esto es lo más loco, vas a flipar, como diría nuestro amigo Boris. El proceso de edición se hizo como lo estamos haciendo acá, de lejos, no sé cómo lo hizo. Él nunca ni siquiera conoció en persona al editor, o sea, wow. Y lo más loco es que aquí yo sé que tú tienes preguntas. Todos los proyectos que se vienen los hizo así, con muchos cambios. Después, no sé, sigamos hablando de esto, pero hay un proyecto que yo sé que le quieres preguntar.
Ven, esa felicidad. Wow, eso es increíble. Además, yo te quiero felicitar porque tienes buen oído, muy buen oído por la música. Mauricio Yasigui. Ese es, yo te lo quiero decir. Si no trabajas contigo en los demás, la partitura perfecta para esos temas de tensión, de thriller y no solo de acción. O sea, ¿cómo considera para usted elemental la música? ¿Bajo qué temple usted necesita que, obviamente, cómo se cumplió este objetivo de esta película con la música? ¿Cómo fue ese proceso?
I thank Jhon for doing this question because I want to make it, but no, I'm happy because yes, just say that you got also a great ear. You got Mauricio, the great Mauricio Yasigui in the music. Man, and of course, I was reading that also today's movie got an original soundtrack. How was the process, man? And Jhon, I hope the answer is yes. Jhon said that he really wants to see you and doing more projects with this amazing musician. But how do you create this process with the music? You were telling us that before that, yes, even in the writing, you were thinking of that. But tell us more about this aspect because sometimes people don't hear those details. But yes. I want to congratulate you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that because we do focus a lot on the music. For me, I always say as a filmmaker, you have to always think ahead of the music because that makes 50% of your movie, in my belief. You know, you have the visuals, but then the audio and the music, you know, bring the rest of the 50% and really make it. Sometimes you can have bad video and visuals. Picture can be bad, but if the audio is bad and the music is bad, you can kill the movie. So for me, you know, once we were doing the initial assembly of the first cut of the edit, we didn't have music, obviously, but we would put in reference, similar music, similar tone, kind of the same theme that we want the composer to create. So when I edit, I always pick out, even with my editor and some music supervisors, we pick out certain songs or certain type of tone for each character and scene. So then when we had the composer, we had different sessions. We watch the movie together, we do a lot of notes, and then we talk about each character having a different theme. So for example, the Mickey Rourke character, I wanted him to have some sort of a Western, you know, classical Western type of tune that also makes you feel for the character, because he's a bad guy, but I wanted him to also have human qualities that people care about. So when you hear that tune, it hits you in the heart and you feel his pain also, you know. And then there are times when you need uplifting music, you need motivational music for, you know, even upbeat for the action. Sometimes you need, you know, emotional romantic music between Michael Jai White and his wife. So we had a range of all different types of emotional music that went with each scene and the characters. So we would always, you know, talk and analyze it. And then there's definitely, it takes some time. It takes about at least 1 month to fully, you know, get on track with it. And then finally get the music. We go back and forth. Then you have to listen to it, you know, on bigger and better sound systems. But even then, now when I watch the movie, I still see something new. But it's a very interesting process to work with the composer and the sound design too, the sound team, not only the music, but the sound effects of the guns and everything else make up the whole audio, you know, that makes the feel for the music.
Jhon, otra locura. Dice que al principio tenían ideas. Es que es un proceso por un mes. Tenían ideas, aquí vas a flipar, hombre. Con más ganas la vas a ver. La música que se tenía pensada para el personaje de Mickey Rourke tenía que sonar como el oeste. ¿Por qué? Porque sí, es el malo, pero tú tienes que incluso sentir por él, conmoverte por él. Obviamente también hay unas piezas musicales para el romance. Y dice incluso así que viendo la película descubría nuevos detalles en torno a la música y el sonido, pero fue un proceso de un mes y obviamente gracias por esa pregunta porque, hombre, yo también quería decirle que tiene muy buen gusto para haber trabajado con ese maestro.
De hecho, yo le hago la pregunta. ¿Se inspiró en la película de Shorties a los John Wayne?
Okay.
That you get inspired somehow for the music, or I don't know, for the subject of the movie in the John Wayne movies, or there's a movie that you got as a reference for this?
There's no particular movie individually, but you know, more like inspirations from real life. I tried to make it more realistic based. I didn't want to make it a typical action movie you normally see with Michael Jai White. I wanted the action to be the supporting to the movie of in real life, what kind of, you know, action could happen when, you know, agents raid a drug house, or, you know, if there's an underground fight club, there's fighting going on there. When Michael Jai White has to come back home and rescue his family, he has to kill the bad guys in, you know, a strategic, stealthy way. So all the action that we do have, I try to make it more realistic. And the drama side of it and the you know, whole suspenseful, thrilling side of it, I tried to kind of blend different, you know, genres together. There's moments you will feel like you're watching a, you know, slasher movie like Scream, you know, with the teenagers getting killed by these masked, you know, home invaders, brutally, you know, getting, you know, just being attacked. And then at times you feel like you're watching a drama, you know, between the family relationships and everything. At times you will feel like you're watching a fight movie, and then you're watching an action movie, like, you know, a drug movie. So there's different elements I blended together. And I wanted also Michael Jai White to do something different and be acting with more depth in the character, which he did very well, because people forget he's not just a martial artist and action star. He's also an actor. When he played Mike Tyson in the Tyson biopic in the 90s, that was great. That was his first role and, you know, breakout. And so he's a very good actor. I wanted to focus in, you know, his character, really showing the human realistic emotions. And I believe we achieved that, you know, because so far people understand it.
Jhon, más que en películas, la realidad. Y puede que nos esté dando un detalle, ¿no? La realidad dice que los tratos de drogas que salen más, pero también las peleas clandestinas, wow. Dice, y un gran factor que creo que ahí lo viste, era demostrar lo buen actor que es Michael J. White. Generalmente la gente ignora ese detalle, pero bueno, él aquí nos trae una referencia de oro, que es la serie de Tyson, de Mike Tyson, que él hizo en los 90, tú sabes, papelazo que se hizo Michael. Y nada, yo creo que vamos al tráiler. No, first we congratulate you, man.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Now we are going to show the trailer.
James Baker, yeah? DEA, military. I gotta tell you, I'm very impressed.
Daddy!
It's nice to have you home.
I feel much better now.
I found something in my room.
You found all of that money? We have to tell Mom and Dad. You don't know who this money belongs to.
I heard you were getting out today. Oh, Jesus. Let's go. We got some business to take care of. $3 million.
Where is it? Our old house?
There's some guys in the house. Dad, you need to come home.
Put one hand on my daughters. Now make sure you die. You're just gonna have to kill me then, boy.
What are we gonna do?
Don't worry. I'm built for this. Enough with the kids. We gotta... You gotta go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Es increíble, para nosotros es grandioso, excelente trailer. Bueno, por último, Asif, tus redes sociales, un saludo para Colombia, para Latinoamérica. Invita a ver The Commando.
Thank you.
As we were saying in Spanish, incredible. Man, the camera is yours. Invite the people from Colombia, from all the world that is watching this, to watch The Commando, to follow you in their social media. If you want to talk about a little bit that we will see next in your career, go ahead, man. The camera is yours.
Well, thank you guys again for having me here and speaking to you and the Colombian people. And I would like to say, you know, I'm accessible. You can find me on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, but I'm not really, you know, I don't post too much, but you can access, you know, if you have any questions, reach out. I'm very excited and blessed to be working and doing what I love and making more movies that are coming out soon. I do a lot of producing. I do produce movies too, but I also direct. You know, and you'll see a lot of my movies coming out that I produce. You know, and I'm also directing a lot more. So I just finished a film that's editing right now in post called Mojave Diamonds. It's a full-on action film. I'm very excited about it. It has a lot of UFC legends in it, like Cowboy Cerrone, Chael Sonnen, Rampage Jackson. Also, it has Weston Cage, who did a great job. It's going to be his breakout. He's the main villain in it. And that's Nicolas Cage's son. And, you know, he's come into his own, and he's such a talented actor. And I can't wait for people to see what we've come up with on this. So keep a lookout and follow me. And I hope to entertain you guys for more to come in the future.
Wow.
I was waiting for you to see that because Jhon love the USC. Jhon, ¿oíste los nombres de la próxima de Mojave Diamonds? And it's crazy because is Weston Cage the son from Nicholas that he was on a metal band?
He was, yeah, he was in a metal band before, yes. And we actually have some of his songs featured in this movie also with this character, yeah.
I gotta see The Commando and I gotta see Mojave when it starts. I will tell Jhon, sí, pues aparte de todas esas estrellas de UFC que tú adoras, Está puesto en Cage, el hijo de Nicolas Cage, tocando incluso sus canciones.
Wow, eso es increíble.
Yeah, and I do a lot of other genres too, and you know, I do a lot of horror. I've, you know, been blessed to be able to do multiple genres. I had a kids Christmas movie just released November 16th this past, you know, Christmas, called Ace and the Christmas Miracle. It's about a talking horse, and we have Jon Lovitz do the voice of the talking horse, and it's a fun little family film. So I do all genre of films, not just action. So you know, hopefully you guys can check them out.
No, and we are so glad, I'm talking for my friend Jhon, to have you here presenting the Commando, but also showing aspects of your career. Man, we are glad. I got to tell you, I don't know if you watch it on the channel. We have legends from the action genre here, talking about their new movies. Jesse B. Johnson, Andy Armstrong, J.J. Stone, and it's and it's great to have you here, man.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here. It's been a pleasure, and you know, I'd love to come back anytime you guys want. So it's been a blast talking to you.
Oh, man, yo creo que debes decirle que cuenta con nosotros para Asphalt Jungle.
Jhon was telling me as a final that you also come with us because he is waiting for Asphalt Jungle. He was like, I had to ask, no, man, we are so happy to have you here. And I will tell Jhon to translate the one for Karen Lasso. So he was one of the actors from Narcos. And we hope to just shoot some crazy action scenes here in Colombia, man.
That would be great. I would love to. I would love to go to Colombia, shoot something. Yeah, hopefully, maybe it'll happen. You never know. You know, I'm always, you know, going to amazing, surprising places every project. So you never know. It could be this year.
We hope so. Thank you, man.
Yes.
The Commando
Thank you. You guys take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.